Welcome to Sweet Soul Pilates. Please remember to engage your core, protect your spine, breathe, and be sweet to you. Today we have a 14-minute back and booty mat Pilates class. When you're ready, come down onto your knees in a seated position. And let's bring our right arm over towards our left overhead. And then we'll switch sides, bringing that left arm over towards the right. And now let's come to the center of our mat. And we'll be raising both of our arms overhead just one time as we prepare for our first move of the day. Let's extend both of our arms outward, and we're going to pull our elbows in, then bring our arms overhead and pull our elbows down. So extending out, pulling elbows in, overhead, pulling elbows down. So let's keep this up, alternating those moves. And now let's come onto our hands and knees. We'll be extending our right arm forward as we sweep it back and return to center. So we're sweeping back and back to the front, and sweeping back to the front. Really give it a nice squeeze as you sweep that arm back. And we'll take this over to our left arm. Still in our hands and knees, extending that left arm forward. We're sweeping back and bringing it back to the front to repeat. And now we're going to bring ourselves down to the mat, onto our hands and knees as we lay ourselves flat, bringing our arms to our sides. And we're going to lift our chest off the mat and back down. So we're not lifting our neck or head, we're not changing the position of our focus, we're just lifting our chest off the mat. And continuing to lay flat, we're going to make a U shape with our arms. And as we lift ourselves up, we'll pull our elbows back as our feet come up off the mat with our legs as well. So we're raising everything up as we pull those elbows back. If you're having difficulty raising your legs off the mat, you can leave them flat, but definitely try and see what your mobility is like. And now we'll come up onto our hands and knees. Starting with our right leg, we'll be taking some kickbacks. Coming back down to center and a hydrant. So another combo move, we're taking a kickback and a hydrant. Let's keep this up. And still on our hands and knees, working that right leg, we're just going to take a single leg extension, extending our leg all the way out and back to center. This may feel a bit simple, but lots of control and slow movements. And this is your reminder to breathe as you're engaging your core. And if you can tell, my leg is just floating above the mat. I'm not coming all the way back down. And now let's come down onto our forearms, still working that right leg. We'll be taking some leg lifts. So let's extend our leg out and lift up and tap back down. Again, lots of control here. And finishing up on this right leg, we'll come back onto our hands and knees. We're going to take some hip circles, but starting with 2 in one direction and 2 in the other. So we'll go around one way and then switch directions. So again, 2 in each direction. And now we'll take that sequence over to the other side to work our left leg. So we'll be starting with the hydrant to kick back. So we're opening up that leg and kicking back. Feel free to shake your wrist or adjust yourself if needed. We'll come back down onto our hands and knees for those single leg extensions on that left leg. So we're extending all the way out and up and back down to repeat. Again, slow and controlled moves allows us to feel even the simplest things. And now we'll come down onto our forearms, extending that left leg for those leg lifts. So let's lift up and tap back down to repeat. And go ahead and shake out your wrist again if needed. We'll be coming back onto our hands and knees. We're going to take those hip circles in one direction 2 times, and then we'll switch directions 2 times. So we'll continue with this pattern. And now we'll be coming down onto our left forearm. We'll give our wrist a break. We'll extend our right leg, and we'll be taking some rainbows. So as you're lifting, you're coming around, creating an arch to tap one side of your mat and the other. And let's switch sides. So now we'll come down onto our right forearm, extending that left leg for some rainbows on this side. And now we'll bring ourselves around to a seated position as we lay flat with our legs bent. And we'll be taking some hip raises. Feel free to place your hands wherever comfortable, but you're going to roll and tuck your pelvis under as you lift your hips up off the mat and tap back down to repeat. And now let's quickly go into some hip raise pulses. And let's roll ourselves up. And we'll come around into a child's pose stretch as we prepare to close out today's class. And then we'll bring ourselves up, and let's bring our right leg forward, pressing into that right leg as we stretch, extending the left. And let's switch sides, bringing that left leg forward, pressing into that left leg as we extend the right. And then we'll bring both of our legs together and step one foot back at a time. And then we're going to lift ourselves up back towards our feet, stretch our toes, and then we'll drop our knees down for a quick child's pose stretch as we come to seated, tilting our head from side to side. Feel free to stay here and take some additional stretches, but that is all for today. I will see you soon.